Hello students and welcome to EduTap. I'm Surbhi Sardana and we have been taking sessions here for ACE Descriptive Writing for your SEBI Grade A Legal examination. The phase 2 is very near. Phase 2 examination will be held on 9th of September and here our purpose is to discuss paper 2 of phase 2 examination to guide you regarding descriptive writing. Let me take you to the syllabus first. So this is the syllabus. Your exam is going to be conducted in two parts, that is 2 papers will be asked. 2 papers will be seen in the examination. Look at the paper 1. Paper 1 has English descriptive test to test the drafting skills. So to test your drafting skills, this English paper has 100 marks. So again, it will be totally descriptive. Paper 2, which is the focus of the series, will have 3 descriptive questions of 10 marks each. First of all, there are 70 MCQs of 1 mark each. So these MCQs or the objective part was a part of paper 2 previously as well. The second part, this one, 3 descriptive questions of 10 marks each on specialized subject related to stream. This part is new. And nobody has an idea regarding how to approach this part. See, when it comes to law, it is easier to understand. It is easier to take MCQs or, click on the right answer when it comes to objective part. But when it comes to the descriptive portion, it becomes very tough. It becomes very tough because you have to remember all the sections, you have to represent them precisely, you have to be very presentable with your approach. So this is what we are going to teach you here in this paper 2 descriptive answer writing practice. This is something you learn here. The features would be to tell you how to make your answers presentable, how to present the same information in more attractive format so that you get more marks as compared to any other competitors out there. Alright, and how to score better with the limited content that you have and during the limited time that you have. Alright, so this is going to be a free initiative. We have already done 4 videos, 4 live sessions have happened already. If you go on EduTap live section, you can watch out all those 4 videos. We have taught you descriptive writing step by step, from step 1 to writing an introduction to understanding the question. Everything has been taught. And today we are at the 5th lecture. This is going to be the second last lecture of the series. But before that, we are here to help you out. EduTab has come up with 2 really creative courses to help you out with SEBI Grade A Legal examination so that you make it to the final list. The first one is the live crash course. I will come to this later. The second one is the test series. Now look at the test series for phase 2 examination and look at the features very closely. This is unlike what you are getting anywhere else in the market. The first thing that you have is chapter-wise test. So yes, full test will be there, full-on mock test would be there. But what we need is, we need to lock our knowledge after reading every chapter, after reading every subject. So this is the feature that this test series does give you, chapter-wise test. Alright. After this, you'll have full-length test in the exact simulation, in the exact simulated environment that you will see on the final date of examination. So these are very important for you. And not just these full-length tests with simulation, the evaluation part that is here, this evaluation will be provided by our experts and this is meant for your descriptive writing portion. How you're writing your answer, how you're approaching the question. Are you omitting important points? Or are you putting peripheral knowledge first? So all these things will be discussed with you during this evaluation part whenever it happens. So you will be marked accordingly, you will be evaluated accordingly. So definitely take this very seriously. The most important feature of this test series is one-to-one mentor support. You will be attached to one of our expert faculties who are experts in their field regarding guiding students for SEBI Grade A Legal examination. They have guided lots of officers, tens and hundreds of officers they've guided already. So one of these mentors will be attached to you till the final day of your result. Till you make it to the final list, this person will guide you regarding timetable, regarding study schedule, regarding syllabus, regarding what are the important topics, regarding how you should organize your plans. Everything would be provided by this mentor. So definitely buy this test series. Right now, since the exam is very near, we are providing a hefty discount on the test series. Coming to the first part, that is the live crash course. In the live crash course, live classes will be taken by experts. I will be taking some of the classes regarding your descriptive answer writing there. So live classes will be taken by experts. They will be teaching you the important topics for your final exam. All the important topics will be discussed. So even if you feel that you lack on the content part, or if you're feeling that there is a lack in your knowledge or in your presentation, everything will be covered in live classes. And don't worry about going through the classes and then being able to revise things, because short notes for revision will be provided ready-made to you. You do not have to make last-minute notes for yourself. They have been curated by our experts, and they will be provided to you with the course. Not just this, all the features of this test series, this creative and so helpful test series, all the features have been amalgamated here in the crash course. So test series with one-to-one mentor support, chapter-wise test, full-length test. You do not have to buy test series separately if you purchase the live crash course. So definitely take one of these options, purchase one of these courses with us, because finally what matters is your result. It won't matter that whether you made the decision or not. What matters is your name in the final list. So don't be in any doubts, don't delay, and take that decision right now. Don't worry about what you're losing or what you're gaining from it. EduTap has a record of success, golden record of success. We produce hundreds of toppers, hundreds and thousands of toppers who are at high post right now. So definitely buy one of these courses. They'll prove to be extremely helpful to you. Now moving on to the descriptive answer writing part. See, what we focus here is that all the students, what they do is they read and they feel that we'll be able to write directly, while this does not happen. There is an important parameter, important factor called thinking. This is very important here, because to be able to write properly, you should have clarity in your mind. And they say you're not ready to write your first word until you're finished thinking. So in the examination, there will be no time to think. And what are we focusing when we talk about thinking? We are focusing on the structure of our answers. We are focusing that when some regular act, for example, insolvency and bankruptcy code is asked from us, how do we choose to write it down? How do we choose to present it? Because everybody is presenting the same information. The structure, the order of points, everything we will be discussing here so that you make it to the final list. Here we take a 4-step approach. When we read the question, we find the keywords in the question. Then we look at the directives in the answer. Then we frame micro questions, and then we write a structured answer with introduction, body, and conclusion. This is the answer blueprint that we have provided all the EduTap students. You can download the PDF for this answer blueprint and this entire discussion from our Telegram channel after this video. So we divide the answer into 3 parts: introduction, main body, and conclusion. And we will see how to address all these parts. What to write in introduction, what to write in body part, are there different ways to address body part, and then the conclusion. Always have an active mind. Do not be lazy. Even if you're feeling sleepy during the examination, you feel that you'll be able to crack it. No. With a sleepy or lazy mind, you can never do that. Secondly, with a negative outlook, you can never do that. So always have an active mind and a positive outlook before you sit for your exam. Now, this was a homework question that was given to you. A lot of people have posted comments on the previous video and answered this question. Discuss the maxim, actus non facit, reum nisi mens citria. So for all the law students, I am sure that you understand the meaning of this maxim. Now the directive here is discuss. You have to discuss this maxim. That means the examiner has not asked you to talk about its history, to talk about Indian relevance. Nothing has been given to you. No hints. Micro questions are not there in this question. You'll have to frame your micro questions. What will be the micro questions? First will be explain the meaning of this maxim. Can you explain the meaning of this maxim? Do you understand the meaning of this maxim? If yes, write it down. Second, applicability and examples of this maxim. Even before applicability, evolution of this maxim. Where did it come into existence? When did it come into existence? Is it of Indian origin or of Western origin? So that should also form a part of your answer. Thirdly, what is the applicability of this maxim? Because when this question is given, let's say for a layman like me, I do not know whether this maxim is used in Indian law or not. It is you who has to tell me in the form of an answer that where does it apply in Indian law. So all these things will be taken as background. We'll take these as primary points and we'll frame our answer. So your first focus should be to be able to clearly explain this maxim. And the first part of our answer is introduction. In introduction, what we do? We talk about the topic in question. We talk about the keywords generally. Just like we have a general conversation with a friend, we talk as in a conversation in our introduction. So in our introduction, we'll talk generally about this maxim. We will not give a lot of details. More details will be added in the body part of your answer. So let's see, what can we write? Let's talk about its origin, its Latin origin. Let's talk about its actual meaning in English. And then let's explain this a little in 1 to 2 lines. That will be our introduction. Introduction should be maximum 5 lines. All right, let's see the introduction. Then we'll move on to the discuss part. First of all, also, when you are studying the descriptive portion, frame questions for yourself. Whenever you've studied a topic, a law, an act, anything, frame questions for yourself and take the help of ChatGPT for framing answers for you, and then see what changes can you make. All right, tools like ChatGPT can help you a lot with descriptive writing. So just ask this question from ChatGPT and see what is the content ChatGPT comes up with. Then add your knowledge to it and then frame your good answers. At least learn. When you read perfect answers, you will be able to copy them. You will be able to at least mirror that style, copy that style in your final exam. So definitely do that. Rather than being anxious about it, work on it. Spend more time with it. It will definitely help you. So let's see. First of all, let's look at the meaning of it. Actus non facit reum nisi mens citria is a Latin maxim translated as an act does not make a person guilty unless there is a guilty mind. So this is the clearest definition or the simplest definition you could give to it. You can write the translation in your own words as well, but make sure it appears in the introduction only. We'll not beat around the bush. The rest of the body part we'll use to explain the applicability of maxim. It encapsulates a fundamental tenet of criminal law. Now we'll explain this a little bit more, that what is it, where is it applicable, and why are we talking about this? Because it encapsulates a fundamental tenet of criminal law that has endured across legal systems and cultures. That means you're emphasizing on the importance of this maxim. Explain the importance a little bit more. Basically, what does this maxim do? The applicability of this maxim. It separates criminals from non-criminals based on their intention. So write briefly about that. Rooted in the intricate interplay between action and intent. Action, that is the criminal action or the act, and intent. This maxim delves into the heart of the criminal justice system, where the distinction between the physical act and the accompanying culpable mental state serves as a critical determinant in ascertaining guilt and administering justice. Alright, so they are basically saying it differentiates intent from action, and this serves as a critical determinant in ascertaining guilt and administering justice. So this is a little complex vocabulary that we're using here. You can write it in your own words as well, but make sure that you're writing the correct things. All right, the correct thing should be written. Now again, this was point by point, but you have to write the introduction as a paragraph. So when you write this introduction as a paragraph, this is how it will appear. It is the same information given in the form of paragraph. Now moving to the body part. You can talk about evolution of this maxim. Where was this first applied? Which case it was? It was in the Western countries. You can talk about that. Freehold. But for a 10 marks question, you might just have 400 words. So mention that in one line and try to explain the applicability of this maxim in Indian law. That will be much better. That will help you get more marks. All right. So do not miss out that part. Here, first we will explain the maxim in bits and parts. Actus reus and mens rea. Both of these will be explained in bits and parts. Then we'll explain its applicability in Indian law. In the context of Indian law, this principle holds significant importance in determining culpability in criminal cases. So we brought the applicability to India. Under Indian law, the principle of actus reus, guilty act, and mens rea, guilty mind, is applied to differentiate between innocent acts and criminal acts. According to this principle, the first one, actus reus. Explain actus reus. This will become more presentable. Then explain mens rea. In addition to the act, there must also be a guilty state of mind or intent. This is very important to mention. This mental element is known as mens rea. It involves the awareness of committing a wrongful act or an intention to cause a prohibited result. The principle of actus non facit reum nisi mens et rea reinforces the idea that both the guilty act and the guilty mind are essential components of criminal offense. So in the introduction, we talked about its importance briefly. Now in the body part, we are explaining both of these separately, and then we are emphasizing that both of these are essential to prove a person guilty in Indian criminal system. So again, you can go on to explain its applicability in Code of Criminal Procedure, Indian Penal Code, and other specialized codes. So in the Indian legal system, various statutes define specific offences and the corresponding mental states required for each offence. This is very important. Here you have ascertained the fact that this maxim is directly used in Indian law. Alright, so let me take you back. Introduction was about general briefing of this maxim. You explained its meaning. You explained its applicability briefly, that it is used to ensure a fair justice system. Then you explained the meaning of maxim more in detail. Then you talked about that both of these, actus reus and mens rea, guilty act and guilty mind, are required to establish a person as criminal. Then we are coming again to the Indian legal system. We are saying that there are many laws which use this maxim and which specify certain conditions for each of the acts. For example, an accidental death cannot be counted as murder because there was no intent to cause death. So the Code of Criminal Procedure, Indian Penal Code, and other specialized laws provide guidance on how different crimes are classified based on the levels of mens rea involved. For example, offences can be classified as intentional murder, where the accused has clear intention. Second, reckless, where the accused consciously disregards the risk. We heard that in case of driving, reckless driving. Then negligent, where the accused fails to exercise reasonable care. Alright, negligent. So these three parameters have been established in most of the Indian laws, and all these three, Code of Criminal Procedure, Indian Penal Code, and other specialized laws, have been mentioned. Now let's give some examples. Mentioning this will not be enough. You'll have to give examples. There are two ways. Either mention some of the specific cases or judgments of various Indian courts which have brought the applicability of this maxim into functioning. One way is that. The second way is that you pick up each of the offences. For example, pick up the offence of murder, cheating, and explain them one by one without mentioning the judgments. Or the third approach could be an amalgamation of both. I'll take you through them. For example, the first approach that we are following is we are defining theft. When will theft be constituted as a theft? Then culpable homicide and murder, cheating and negligence. These are the four crimes, and when will they be called actual crimes? The other approach is talk about these cases. Nathulal versus State of Madhya Pradesh, Hemraj versus State of Haryana. This was about theft. The courts established that unintentional taking of property or someone's possession without the intent of taking the rights away from the owner is not theft. This was the case of a bicycle. This was the case of then Hemraj versus State of Haryana. Then Rabindra Kumar De versus State of Odisha, Shankar Lal versus State of Maharashtra, Ratan Lal versus State of Punjab. Now what you can do is either explain these cases or Use these cases as examples. As examples under these themes: theft, culpable, homicide and murder, cheating, negligence. For example, theft, I will just talk about the one. To establish the offense of theft under section 378 of IPC, it's not enough to prove that someone took another person's property. The prosecution must also demonstrate that the accused had the intention to dishonestly appropriate the property without the owner's consent. If someone takes an item believing that it's his own item, then that does not account to theft because intent of committing theft is not there. Similarly, for culpable, homicide and murder, if there is accidental death involved, there is no intent of causing death of the other person, then that does not account to murder without the requisite intent. All right. Here you can give the first example of the cases that we'll see in the subsequent slides. Then again for cheating and again for negligence. You can go on to explain these definitions, or you can take sub-points. You can talk about sub-points, then you can mention the specific cases to approach these. Read out this alternate content as part of PDF that will be put or uploaded on our Telegram channel. Read out this entire content. Then in the conclusion, ascertain the importance of this maxim. Emphasize on the importance of this maxim again. The application of actus non facit reum nisi mens sit rea ensures that individuals are not unfairly punished for accidental or unintended actions, and that criminal liability is reserved for those who possess both the requisite mental state and commit a wrongful act. So basically what we are doing, we are summarizing. This principle provides a safeguard against arbitrary or unjust punishment. Very important. Aligning with the principles of fairness and justice within the Indian legal system. Hence, it helps in promoting fairness and justice in the criminal justice system. Basically, we are repeating the same line again. All right. Choose to write one of the last lines. Either write this line or write this line. All right. So this is going to be a full answer. If you have any alternative responses, alternate additions, let us know in the comment section under this video. Yes, we are not giving you reviews regarding the answers because they are almost perfect. We are not awarding you marks because again, they're almost perfect. If we find any of the answers with some loopholes, we'll definitely let you know. But do comment under this video regarding any of the important additions you have to make, regarding any alternate answer. All right. Always believe that you can write great answers, and do write great answers in the limited time that you have, because everybody has the same amount of time. And even if somebody is doing very great, they are way ahead of you, they can just get one seat. They cannot take away your seat. We always feel that if other people are going ahead in life or getting higher in life, we feel that we are left behind. But nobody is stopping us from moving forward. Nobody else's success proves you a failure or increases your chances of failing. No, that does not happen. You can succeed in your own ways. Other people can succeed in their own ways. And never compare yourself with others. Competing is not equivalent to comparing. Compare yourself with your past self only. Improve every day. And target for the highest level of improvement. And always aim higher. Always aim higher. If you feel that yes, people are way ahead of you, that's okay. But don't let it cause negativity in your life. All right, I'm signing off here. I'll see you with another discussion on Friday. That will be the final question that we'll take. This one was a little philosophical. It was not a direct question. On Friday, we'll try to take an easier one, because this descriptive part is happening for the first time. So the questions that you will see, they will be very much straightforward. They will not be tough questions, as has been the case with all the exams. Whenever something is conducted for the first time, it is always easy. So don't worry much about it. Focus on recalling things. Do not mess up with sections or subsections or explanations of laws. All right. If you have any comments for us, let us know at hello@edutap.co.in. You can also contact us and book a counseling with us at 8146 207 241. I'll see you with another discussion soon. Stay tuned to our channel and all the very best for your exam.